أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وبه نستعين إنه خير الناصر ومعين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين أما بعد فقد قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم لأن يهدي الله على يديك رجلا خير لك مما طلعت عليه الشمس وغربت صلوات There's a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in which he says to Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam that if you guide someone towards religion, then it is better than the sun rising and sunset that you see every day, the sun that shines upon this planet. Why did he talk about the sun? That's because, as you already know, if you don't have sun for a single day, if the sun does not shine upon earth, then there's not going to be any life. Everything is going to end. Therefore, he is talking about the sun shining upon this planet. So if there's no sun, there's not going to be any life. Therefore, he says that he's talking about the importance of guiding people towards the true path. So he says it is of that importance. It's of utmost importance. You must take that seriously. If you're guiding people towards goodness, that's a very good thing to do. And who did he say that to? He said that to Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. And this obviously was for us, not for Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, who already knows better. Now, the religious work is very important. Once we do anything good, that's got a direct, directly with, it is interacted with the religion. Whatever good that you do, whatever thing that you think that you, for example, if you see someone is blind and you want him to cross the road and he needs help, and you go out of your way and you take his hand and you cross the road with him, that's a religious act, and it is something that's recommended. So what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, that if you can guide people towards goodness, and if you can tell them what's good and what's right, the goodness that is going to come out of it is like this world is going to be a mini paradise. So the things, the religion that has come for the humans is for their own good. It is not for something that people might think that is something not really important or necessary. But then we see that when some people start following these things and they tread upon this path of following religion, calling people towards the true path and everything, what happens is sometimes people start following them because they like them. Now, once people start liking them, they like people liking themselves, right? So there's a touch of arrogance that starts coming inside them. They get a little conceited and they start feeling proud of themselves. Now, that's something which is lethal for anybody who wants to be religious, somebody who wants to be pious. It's opposite of being pious. Therefore, you have to be very careful when you deal with things like religion. It's like something like burning fire. Like if you want to touch it, your hands are going to get burned if you do it in the wrong way. But otherwise, if it's the winter time, you're going to benefit from it if you don't touch it like that. Now, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, in his sermon number 32 in Nahjul Balagha, he talks about the 4 categories of human beings. He says there are 4 kinds of people, and today we'll just discuss about 2 of them. He says, Ayyuhan nas, inna qad asbahna fi dahri anud wa dhamni kanud ya'adu fihi al-muhsin masiyah وَيَذَادُ الظُّلْمَ فِيهِ عَدُوًّا لَا ننتفع بها علمنا ولا نسأل عما جهلنا ولا نتخوف قارئا حتى تحلوا بنا. Now, he says that unfortunately, and that's the truth. And this is about 1,400 years ago that Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam says, and it must have gotten worse now. That's obvious. He says, "Oh people, you're born. Unfortunately, we're born in such bad times. Why? It is a thankless kind of a environment that we see around each other. People are thankless. All of the ni'mats that you get from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, people are thankless. And we see that the pious, the virtuous, the people who are righteous, they are deemed to be bad. People consider them to be evil and bad. Good people are considered to be bad. And he says the oppressors are free to do whatever they want. They go out and oppress people and do whatever. And people think that they're good because they're the people who are in control and they've got the power. And he says that we do not make use of what we know, the knowledge that we have. We do not make use of it. It's just sitting there. The knowledge, we know things, but we're not using them. We're not applying them to our daily lives. Those things are just there, somewhere in the corner. We're not even bothered about what we know. Just forget it. The inner voice that we have inside us, we don't even want to listen to that. And then he says that what we do not know, we do not want to discover what we do not know. We do not want to learn. We don't want to have knowledge and things like that. So we don't want to go after the things that we don't know. And then he says that unfortunately, you and us, we're going to find out only when the calamity befalls upon us. And that will be the end of us. And that will be too late. So if we look at our times, today, 1,400 years later, we find that the things have gotten from bad to worse. And that's the reality that we are facing today. And now about the four categories of the people, he says, I'm going to talk about two. وَالنَّاسَ عَلَى أَرْبَعَةِ أَصْنَافٍ مِنْهُمْ مَنْ لَا يَمْنَعُ الْفَسَادِ فِي الْأَرْضِ إِلَّا مَهَانَتُهُ نَفْسِهِ وَكَلَالَةُ حَدِّهِ وَنَذِيزُ وَفْرِهِ. And he says that, the first category is of the man who's not an oppressor. He doesn't do any bad. He doesn't do any evil. And the reason is because he's unable to do it. He's weak. He doesn't have money. He's not rich. He's a poor man. And he's unable to do it. If he had the wealth, if he had the power, if he had the capability to do something, he would have done extreme amount of evilness in this world. But so that's fortunate that he's unable to do anything. The poor guy, he's not able to do good, let alone bad. And he says, وَمِنْهُمْ الْمُسْلِةُ لِلسَّيْفِ وَمُعْلٍ بِشَرِّهِ وَالْمُجْلِبُ بَخْيَةِ وَرَجْلِهِ. And he says that there are people who've got the power. He's got a sword in his hand and he's out to kill everyone. He's the oppressor. He's got the power. And you know what he does? He sells his religion. He sells every ideology, the true ideology that he believed in. He sells it off. He says, astaghfirullah, allow me to say it. He says, to hell with religion. And what does he do? He goes out and he sits on the mimbar, for example, Amir al-Mu'minin says. And he's there, he just doesn't care about anything. All he cares about is gaining more and more power and wealth. And you find this quality even today amongst many of us. And unfortunately, that's something that we need to avoid. In our daily lives, when we go to the office and there are people working under us, they are the people that we have the power upon. if we are lenient towards them, there are lots of ahadith that Allah is going to be lenient with you on the day of the judgment. But if you find that you're not lenient, you're very harsh with them, then on the day of the judgment, Allah is going to be harsh with you. So these are the values of Islam that we need to treasure. Salawat bi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.